we're here with the Deputy Assistant Secretary for Central America, Jacobstein. Thanks for sitting with us and making some time. Um, you've been here and you've been following Guatemala closely the last months. How are you seeing things, and how confident you feel that democracy will stand?
First of all, thank you for having me. This is a critical moment for Guatemala, and I think it's a testament more than anything to the Guatemalan people. And if we look at what happened on June 20th, on August 25th, you had the most observed election in Guatemalan history in both rounds. And really, the Guatemalan people stood up and fought back against efforts to undermine democracy. This is a long fight. It's going to continue from now through January 14th. But today, I feel very optimistic. We were very encouraged by the stated commitment of President Yamate. But we understand there's big challenges moving forward, especially from the Attorney General and other corrupt elements in this country. So it's going to be a long road ahead, but feeling very optimistic at this moment.
And do you think it's a difference between the actions of the Attorney General and the role that President has been playing in the last few days, few weeks?
All I can say is President Yamate had a strong stated commitment to the Deputy Secretary of State today, and we saw his actions yesterday with the OAS Secretary General, with the President-elect, and we're encouraged by that and look forward to a really robust transition in this moment.
And the ambassador in a previous interview said that the Guatemalan people needs to do their work. And it's true. What's your message to key stakeholders? Many of them you have met in the previous weeks about the role we need to play as a society in order not just to uphold democracy, but try to use this election as an opportunity to have a better path forward to rule of law, opportunities, and being able to adjust the system in a way that works for everyone.
Yeah. Our main message to the Guatemalan people is one of gratitude. Gratitude for all that they've done over the past couple of months to really stand up for democracy. But the message also is that, the international community does not, or private sector investors do not want to invest in a country where election results are not respected. So that's why it's so critical that the Attorney General, elements of the judicial system, cease their efforts to undermine the election. We're really hardened by what we've seen by the private sector, by civil society, but particularly the private sector, which I think acknowledges the fact that they want further future foreign investment in this country. Foreign investment is critical. It's critical to us as part of the root cause strategy. And the way you get further foreign investment in this country is by respecting the will of the people. And that's why it's so critical, and that's why we're encouraged by the transition, but also why we're discouraged by the actions of the Attorney General, and really need to see all those end in the coming days.
And do you think one of the ways in which rule of law can be strengthened is in those cases, the Claudia Gonzalez case and the cases that feel in some way raise questions for many people about what the proof or what they're looking for? Do you think appointing a special counsel would be something that would help in order to go after the truth, and not only and just the truth, and not trying to make it like they're going after people just because they're upholding democracy, or they're fighting for corruption, or they're just not doing what they are supposed to be doing in the eyes of them?
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, this issue of a special counsel, that's one for the Guatemalan government, the Guatemalan people to decide. I will say this: when it comes to justice sector defenders, we fully condemn efforts to weaponize the justice sector, go after these individuals. We call for the immediate release of Claudia Gonzalez. These efforts are completely counterproductive. They undermine the rule of law further, and I think they do something that makes the country less attractive for foreign investors. So that's why I think it's just so critical that these individuals not be further persecuted.
What do you think has been the role of TEZ in these elections?
Yeah, there's many Guatemalan institutions who've played a key role. I think we'll continue to look in the coming days how that all turns out. I would say if you look at the elections themselves on June 20th, on August 25th, the TSE played a critical role in those elections in ensuring that those elections went off fairly, freely, without violence. So we certainly commend them for those efforts in the two rounds of the election, and look forward to their commitment during the coming months.
And Secretary General of Luis Almagro is going to be key part of the process, the transition process.
Yes.
Does the U.S. has anything in mind in order to go along with this process and being able to play some role supporting OAS?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, obviously, first and foremost, this is a credit to the Guatemalan people, but the international community has been critical here. So the United States certainly is an important voice, but we're a voice that stands with the Organization of American States, stands behind the leadership of Secretary General Almagro, stands behind the leadership of others throughout the world and the international community. So what's really important here and critical is the way the international community has stood up in a major way, in a way that doesn't always happen in Latin America and the Caribbean. So really heartened by that, and we will continue to give Secretary General Almagro our full support in the coming months.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.